The paparazzi strikes again. This is spy camera. If you keep watching Flash, you turn into communist sex pervert. You better turn away now. Oh, too late. It's fun, huh? This is very unnatural for me. I don't know how the sound's going to turn out. I'm doing it without headphones because it's like, what the hell is the sense? But anyway, this is part two of the uh, human sustenance video blog I was doing, and I mentioned that another part of this has to do with human relationships, love being America's greatest taboo. And the reason that is because the way that love is defined in the United States is by monogamy. So rather than getting into this Adam and Eve Garden of Eden, the devil corrupted everything and that love became corrupted, love did not become corrupted. What people refer to in the United States as love actually is not love. It's something more akin to possession and ownership. The idea is, well, you could only have one person, that there is only one love. And some people use the example, well, if you have more than one child, do you love one more than the other, or you can only love one? You know, and then someone will say, well, it's the same as your mother. You love your mother, but you don't fuck your mother. So apparently, the distinction here is erotic love, eros. Um, so it becomes this condition. If you're going to fuck somebody, you could only do it sexually. You have to separate love from sex. Otherwise, you are not in love, or you're unfaithful, or you're possessed by Satan, or you're doing something demonic or evil or something. Well, it's just not true. It's contrary to common sense. Yeah, and I think that if you think about this and you discuss it with your wife or your husband or whatever, um, you'll discover whether you truly love them or not. If they can't understand that um, you might be attracted to other people, you might have loving feelings towards other people besides just them, I don't see that as love. I see that as possession. I see that as control and ownership. It really dovetails with American conservative ideals, which is to control people, primarily to control people through the three Christian ideals of love, fear, or not love, but guilt, fear, and shame. Um, Not necessarily in that order. So, well, why even talk about any of this? The reason is crime. If you look at what inspires people to do crimes, it's primarily men doing something in order to get women. For instance, if a man wants to come here to blow me, it doesn't cost any money. I don't have to pay him. I don't have to buy him flowers. I don't have to get him chocolates or anything like that. I mean, the whole thought of the thing is absurd. But if people are heterosexuals, then they don't think it's absurd. They think, oh, well, that's what queer people do. But as soon as you try to get some woman to do something like that, there's all these conditions that are imposed. Well, are you going to take me to dinner? Um, where do you work? How much money do you make? Do you have a car? How are you going to take care of me? Oh, what's your deal? You know? So even though women have more or less accepted the fact that they're not going to find some man that's going to take care of them. I mean, you got these women that are like bitchin' broads. I mean, they're fucking beautiful. They got beautiful legs, beautiful ass, nice tits or whatever, and they figure, hey, this is worth something. I'm going to cash in on this. I'm going to find some man that's going to take care of me. Even a lot of those women have now conceded that, well, maybe they could get some guy to share expenses with them. And there's some that are persistent that just don't have it up here and think that they're going to find that somehow. Well, obviously, that sort of thinking is the same sort of thinking that capitalists have. Capitalists in terms of our present modern society, which is that it doesn't take care of everyone. That it's a game of winners and losers, survival of the fittest, or however you want to look at it. So when you conjoin all of these things with the idea of love, to me it just doesn't make sense. When I have loving feelings towards someone, I feel it in my heart. I don't just feel it in my cock, but I feel it in my heart. The whole idea of the chakra centers, the heart chakra, and so on and so forth. I don't see any reason why people should deny themselves of that. How many women are in a situation of marriage where they deny themselves of that, or maybe sneak off and do it online or something? I mean, and then the guy finds out about it and he slaps her around or he beats her up and goes out and gets drunk, goes out and gets laid, and then they're unfaithful. Oh my God, it's the end of our marriage and all of this shit. Or some hot ass woman with a ghetto booty and some guy wants to fuck her and it's like, hey, babe, you got to get some bling. You got to have some cash. So some guy goes out and sells drugs or robs a liquor store or something. I mean, you see it in all the. I don't want to sound racist or anything, but America is a racist society. The Birth of a Nation film and Jimmy Cracker and the Confederate flag and all of that business. I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of these guys that are in the rap business and everything promote heterosexual patriarchy. They promote the hoes with the bling and the cars and all of that stuff. So they're allowed to have money. They're allowed to be successful. They're allowed to be in the American groove, the American scene, or whatever you want to call it. Because they're playing into this ideal, and it depends on what you want. If you want to have the greater good for the greater number, these sorts of things create the greatest misery. So I think that what has to be done is that people, it's rather futile to try to expect that things are going to change by voting for someone that's supposedly liberal or voting for someone that's conservative, because the way it is right now is we're still stuck in this heterosexual patriarchy paradigm where the men make the rules, and all of the role models that evolved from that, from these pseudo or neo-biblical notions and things. Those things have to be exploded and annihilated for there to be any true progress. in order for humanity to evolve beyond these obsolete ideals which have actually held us back, which you read some of these books that I've mentioned, and the mentality, the boundaries within which all of this operates are like from the 1850s. That's about as modern as it was ever allowed to get. Even though all the old wealth was lost in the 1920s, 1930s, still this paradigm exists. And it is that thing that has to be attacked, it has to be changed, has to be destroyed, and something based upon the ideal of true love, not monogamy, not ownership, not not the man makes the rules, but an equality. It's not like one or the other. Oh, well, if the man isn't going to make the rules, then it has to be matriarchy. No, it doesn't have to do that. It just has to be people. It doesn't matter whether you're queer. If you want to, if you want to have somebody the opposite sex, do what thou wilt. But the freedom and the choice has to be there. And you get rid of the fear, guilt, and shame, and just learn how to love and learn how to interact as human beings, and forget all of this marriage shit and white picket fences and all of this other stuff, and just evolve beyond that.